All set for today's practice? Great. When you're ready, separate your knees, walk your hands to the mat top, bend forward, rest your forehead on the ground to come in child pose. Child pose is a rest pose, so relax. Take deep inhales and exhales. When you're ready, lift up your head and come to all fours. Make sure your wrists are right below your shoulders and your knees are right below your hips. When you're ready, gently lift up your right arm and left leg to come in one line with your trunk. Connect to your core and go for upside down crunches. Rounding your back. Hand and leg back in one line. Hold the posture and take few normal breaths. Exhale and crunch. Inhale back to one line. Take normal breaths. Exhale and crunch again. Inhale, hand and leg back in one line. Hold the posture and take few breaths. Gently release your hand and leg back to ground. Now the other side. Lift up your right leg and left hand off the floor to come in one line with your trunk. Hold the posture. Exhaling, crunch, rounding your back. Inhale back in one line. Take few normal breaths. Exhale and crunch. Inhale back in one line. Take few normal breaths. Exhale, crunch. Inhale back in one line. Hold the posture. And release your hand and leg back to the ground. When you are ready, tuck in your toes, lift up your knees and come in downward dog. Try touching your heels to ground. Inhale and plank, making sure that your whole body is in one line from head to heels. Now bend your elbows, exhaling, inhaling, come to upward dog. Exhale and back to downward dog. Series of these postures is called Vinyasa. That's how we'll be referring to it. We'll go for one more round. Inhale and plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. Walk your feet in its own position to give your hamstrings a complete stretch. And try to bring your head towards the heels to give your back a complete stretch. Exhaling, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and forward bend. Inhale and rise up in mountain pose. Hands join in Namaste. Join your elbows. Exhale back to forward bend. Hands on ground. Inhale, legs to the end of the mat. Downward dog and move to Vinyasa. Plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Take few normal breaths here. Give yourself a complete stretch by placing your heels on the floor. Now one more round. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift in flat back. Give yourself a good stretch. Exhale, move to forward bend. Hands firmly on floor. Bring your chest as close to knees as possible. Bend your knees. Inhaling, rise in mountain pose. Hands namaste. Joining elbows. Exhaling and forward bend. Hands firmly on the floor. Give yourself a good stretch. Step to the back of the mat and move to Vinyasa. Plank, inhale and upward dog. Look up to the ceiling. Exhale and downward dog. Take few breaths here. Try to bring your head towards the heels. Again, step to the top of the mat. This time, inhale and rise in the chair pose. Sit as deep as possible. Exhale, move to forward bend. Hands on floor. Straighten your knees and give yourself a good stretch. Step to the back of the mat. Move to plank and vinyasa. Bend your elbows. Go to upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Try to touch your heels to the floor and take your head towards your heels. From here, we will go for one more round. Step your legs to the top of the mat. Inhale and rise up in chair pose. Sit as deep as possible. Exhale and forward bend. Hands on floor. Straighten your knees and step to the back of the mat. From here, move to plank. Bend your elbows. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Place your heels on the floor and your head towards your heels. Now we add on. For the next round, step to the top of the mat. Rise up in chair pose. Sit deep. Exhale and forward bend. Inhale, step to the back of the mat. Inhale, plank and move to vinyasa. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now lift up your right leg as high as possible. Bend at knee and lunge to the top of the mat. Hands by your side, lift up in warrior one. Give a slight backward bend and hands back to floor. Right leg moves back to the end of the mat. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. This was round 1. Now we go for one more round. Step your leg to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up in the chair pose. Sit as deep as possible. Exhale, forward bend. Hands on floor. Give yourself a good stretch. And step your legs to the back of the mat. Move to plank. Bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. This time, lift your left leg as high as possible. Bend at knee and step in runner's lunge. Hand by your side, rise up in Warrior One. Gently tilt backwards to give your back a good stretch. Lift yourself up. Don't forget to keep breathing. Exhale and hands back to flow. Step your left leg to the back of the mat. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take few normal breaths here and relax. Now we move to last 2 rounds of the flow. I'm sure you can do it. Inhaling, start with Vinyasa. Plank. Exhale, bending elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your right leg in runner's lunge and lift yourself up in Warrior One. Exhale, hands back to flow. Take a deep inhale. Exhaling, lift your right hand towards the sky and look at your fingers. Give your spine a good twist. Hand move back to the ground. Drop your left knee to floor. Extend your toe and lift up the lower left leg off the floor. Try holding your left toes with your right hand. Give yourself a good stretch. You should feel the stretch in your thighs. Release the toe back to the ground. And place your right hand next to the right leg. Tuck in your toe, lift up your knee and place your right leg to the back of the mat. And Vinyasa. Plank, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now we do it with the other leg. This time, step or lunge your left leg to the top of the mat and rise up in Warrior One. Give yourself a good stretch. Exhale, hands back to the ground. Inhale, lift up your left hand towards the sky and look at your fingers. Exhale, left hand back to the floor. Drop your right knee to floor. Extend your right toe and lift your lower leg off the floor. Try grabbing your right toes with your left hand and look up. Give your right leg some gentle tugs. Gently release the leg on the floor. Left hand moves next to left leg. Lift up your knee and come to downward dog. Smoothly move to Vinyasa. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. This is our resting pose. So take few inhales and exhales. Give yourself a good stretch. And now we are ready to move to the Pigeon Pose. Step your right leg to the top of the mat. Shift it towards your left hand and gently place your right knee on the floor, making sure that your hips are still square to the mat top. Lift your body up and give it a gentle backward bend. You should be feeling the stretch in your thighs. Bend forward to place your elbows on the floor. If you are feeling extreme pain in any of your body part, then just step back. give your body some time to adjust to this posture. If you're comfortable here, you can even place your head on the floor or on your hands. And just relax here. Take deep inhales and long exhale. If you're ready to take it one more step further, then lift up your head and start lifting your left lower leg off the floor. Try to hold your left toes with your left hand. Give your left leg some gentle tugs and don't forget to breathe. Release your toe and place the leg back to the ground and gently raise yourself up to come back in downward dog. We'll do the same for the other side. This time step your left leg to the mat top and slide it towards the right. Place your left knee on the floor, keeping your hips square to the mat top. Lift yourself up and give a slight backward bend. Slowly bend forward. Slide your hands to place elbows on the floor and rest. If you are experiencing extreme pain in any of your body part, then immediately release the posture. Otherwise, you can bend further forward to place your head on your hands or on the floor. And enjoy this posture. Do not forget to breathe. Inhales and exhales. You can either relax here or move one step further. If you are ready, gently lift up your head and your body. Tuck in your right toe and lift up your right lower leg. Try to grab your right toes with your right hand and look up. You may even give your right leg some gentle tugs. Just relax and enjoy the stretch. You might be feeling the stretch in your thighs and your back. Release the leg down and lift up to meet me in downward dog. From here, we begin with sitting asanas. Sit on the floor with your legs extended and your back straight. Pull your toes towards you. Make sure your whole leg is on the ground and gently start lifting your hands towards the ceiling. Exhaling, bend forward and try to grab your toes with your hands. Look in front. Pay attention to your back and try not to hunch it. Inhale, take your hands back to the ceiling. Make L shape with your thumbs and your fingers. And try to grab your toe thumbs. If you cannot reach to your toe thumbs, then you can either grab your ankles or your shins. And start bending forward. Try to touch your head to your shin. Bend as much as you can do without hunching your back. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhales. Now gently lift up yourself. Take your hands over your head and place them behind your buttocks. Now gently start lifting your hips off the floor and give yourself a counter stretch. If this posture is not comfortable to you, then you may bend your legs at knee and then go for the same counter pose. You may let your head drop as well. Start dropping your hips back to the floor and straighten your legs. When you're ready, bend your right leg, take it over the left and place the right sole next to your left knee. Now bend your left leg in a way that your left sole is near your hips. Lift up your left hand, wrap it around your right and try to grab your right ankle. Place your right hand behind the hips and look behind. Make sure you keep your back straight. Hold this posture and keep breathing. Gently take your head back to center and release the posture. Straighten your legs. This time, bend your left leg and take it over the right, placing the left sole next to right knee. Now bend the right leg in a way that right sole is next to your hips. Take your right hand up, wrap it around your left leg and try to grab your left ankle. Place your left hand behind your buttocks and twist. Make sure your back is straight and you are breathing. Now take your head back to center and release the posture. Extend your legs. Join the soles of your feet and bring it as close to your body as possible. Give yourself a slight forward bend and straighten your back and flap your knees in butterfly pose. Make big and slow movements. Now gently start walking your hands towards the mat top, bending yourself from the waist. Keep bending yourself till your forehead touches the ground or till your body allows. Take rest. This is a good thigh opener. Gently lift yourself up. Turn to one side and come in supine position. Extend your legs and make sure you have sufficient space over your head. Gently start lifting both your legs off the floor till your legs are perpendicular to ground. Take an inhale and exhale. Now start lifting your hips off the floor, supporting your back with your hands. Keep lifting yourself up till your whole body from toes to shoulders is in one line. Your whole weight is on your shoulders, neck and head. This is Sarvangasana. Tuck in your chin and keep looking either at your toes or your navel. Keep breathing. Inhales and exhales. Now slowly take your legs over your head and start bending them towards the floor. Keep bending them till your toes touches the ground. Release your hands from the back and place them on the floor. Try to walk your legs as far away from your body as possible. You may even interlace your fingers and place your hands on the floor. This is called complete Halasana or plough pose. Don't forget to breathe. Inhales and exhales. Release your hand. If you want to take it one more step further, then start bending your knees and try to place them on the floor right next to your ears. This is called Karnapidasan or ear pressure pose. This is an amazing back opener. Don't forget to breathe and relax in this posture. Now slowly start lifting your knees off the floor and roll your body back to floor, one vertebrae at a time, as slow as possible. Now drop your legs back to ground. Now bend your legs at knee. Place your hands right below your shoulders and gently start lifting your hips off the floor and then your shoulders to come in Vakrasana. Maintain this posture. If you want to take it a step further, you may even lift your heels off the floor. Keep breathing. Inhales and exhales. Gently lower your heels to ground, then your shoulders and your hips to release the posture. Adjust yourself on the mat in a way that your whole body is on the mat. Now, keeping your knees bent, take your left leg over the right, place your hands in T position or bend at elbow. Start dropping your legs towards the right and turn your head to look in left. Give yourself a good spinal twist and relax. Keep breathing. Inhales and exhales. Now gently bring your head and your legs back in center. Place your left leg on the floor. Take your right over the left and start dropping your legs towards the left and turn your head to look towards the right. Give your spine a good stretch. Make sure both your shoulders are still on the ground. Now gently bring your head and leg back in center. Place your right leg back to ground and bring your hands by your side. Straighten your legs and get ready to move in Shavasana. Spread your legs to the mat corner, hands by your side, palm facing up. Make sure your whole body is relaxed. Remove any tension from each body part and let your whole weight be on ground. Make sure your neck is relaxed and you may gently close your eyes. With your eyes closed, consciously relax each part of your body. If you have time, then keep relaxing in this posture. Otherwise, Gently move your arms and your legs. Turn to your left side, make a pillow of your left hand and rest in Virabhadrasan. Now, taking support of your right hand, gently lift yourself up to come in seated posture. Gently rub your palms and place them on your eyes. Blink open your eyes in cup of your palms. Give warmth to your whole face and Namaste.